Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. Head shave and face shave today, and it's been two days, I think 3 days since my last head shave. There was quite a bit of blood, there was quite a few weepers. I did use Moyle grooming, which I'm using again today, and hopefully you can see that it does a really good job of fixing all those little things, all those little cuts and stuff like that, especially on my face as well. I think I used it on my face from Henry, yes certainly did, and followed up by the Australian Private Reserve Essentials Serum. Now, the soap for today, I was a bit undecided what to use today. We have just taken the whole family into lockdown. All the kids are at home. It'll be all online schooling from here on in. Gyms, churches, what else is shut down? God, so many things shut down. I can't even think of them. Cafes and restaurants, pubs and clubs. They've all been basically told they can do takeaway and that's it. Maybe not pubs and clubs, but all the restaurants and cafes can do takeaway, but you can't sit down anymore. Western Australia has also closed its borders, and you can't get in and out of Western Australia at the moment. So I went for this SMG PASION, a passion, lovely woman in a rose dress, very very nice. And I think it's John Romanoff that makes SMG. I'm not sure what SMG stands for. It's got the ingredients list all the way around the outside of the lid there, but I'm not going to pants around with that. The brush for today is my Wolf Whiskers apple green, or green apple, whatever you want to call it, from Wolf Whiskers, made by Peter Wolf. This has got 25mm Black Wolf Ultra Fan knot. No longer available. You cannot get your hands on these knots for love of the money. I've never seen them. In fact, I've never really seen this knot in any brush, to be honest. This is, for me, probably the only brush I've ever really seen it in, the one I actually own. Oh, that scent though, it's like a sweet gourmand floral scent, but it's not floral, it's more like a sweet that you would actually eat. That's the scent I get from it. I've just soaked it. As you can see, there's a bit of, I don't know what they call that, saponification or whatever they call it. People think it looks like mould. It's not mould, I can assure you. It generally comes away once you load this first sort of bit. I'll be using the same soap for my face shave as well, and it should look different for the face shave once I've got rid of this top layer off the soap. Like I say, I did soak it. This soap doesn't need it. This is actually a very good quality soap. It's quite an old base, I think. I'm not sure how old, but it's not a, I think it's a probably 3-year-old base. When was this soap made? 2017, so it's 3 years old, the soap. End of year bash 2017, so it would have been December 2017, so December this year it'll be 3 years old, so it's over 2 years old at least. The scent strength's phenomenal. It's still around. It's easy as 6 or 7 in scent strength. It is a beautiful scent, really really nice scent. Right, you can see there that there is far too much in this brush, or is there such a thing? I'm just going to rinse the tub out because I like to start fresh with a nice clean tub for my face shave, rather than pouring water down the drain and wasting it. All I do is I get the tub, I fill the sink up with warm water, just submerge the tub and just keep doing that until all the excess, or as much of it as I can get out, is gone. And you'll see that the top of the soap still looks similar, but looks slightly different to what it did when I first started this shave, at least. There we go, that's done. That's what the soap looks like now. You can see it's ever so slightly different. It might look completely different after the face shave's done. We'll put that to the side now, wet the head. And here we go. So as a result, they've closed all the borders now, so I don't think anyone can get in and out of Western Australia. We have had overnight another 20 cases of coronavirus. So I'm unfortunately having to listen to a little bit of the news. I need to know roughly what's going on, because obviously with the kids and things like that, I need to know what I've got to do and what we have to do in case of emergencies and things. So I'm trying to stay, well, I'm not trying, I'm staying out of the politics of all. It's all bullshit. I just want to know the cold hard facts of what we can and can't do, where we can and can't go. And as it stands sort of at the moment, we are pretty much self-isolating now through choice. My son, not through choice I suppose, my son, my eldest son, my middle child, Mitchell, has been sent home from school today. I had to go and pick him up for coughing. He had some coughing fits in class, and since bringing him home he's been coughing all day. So we'll just keep an eye on him. He's not getting any temperature or anything like that, but obviously given the current health climate, they don't want him in school, and I don't blame them. And as much as me being unfit for duty to go back to work with my wrist being screwed, and it's still not right. I'm waiting on my results coming back from the doctors. It has allowed me to be at home for the biggest majority. So for this period of when the kids are at home, I'm not sure how long I'm still going to be out for. I mean, I still want to get back to work, but it is giving us that time at the moment where we can have the kids at home and not have to worry about who's looking after them, because they're still young. And it also means that I'm actually at home as well during a time where I'm sure it will eventually happen, that crime will go through the roof in terms of burglaries and things as people start getting desperate. And as you can see, this lather's up an absolute treat. I can't remember if this is, let me have a look. It is a vegan base, a vegetal base, or whatever you want to call it. I think it is actually vegan. I don't think there are any animal byproducts or anything in this soap. That scent is absolutely stunning. I love the scent. Makes such a glossy, creamy lather as well. I'm not sure whether it's the same formula that SMG is still using. In fact, if I'm honest with you, I'm not even sure if SMG is still in business, because if I'm completely honest, look how good that lather is. I've completely lost touch with a lot of the artisans and wet shaving since I basically cut ties with Facebook. That was the main sort of draw of companies was. That's where I found out about most things. Mostly now I catch sight of things through Facebook, through YouTube. And of course I've not been watching a whole heap of YouTube, surprisingly, with all the time I've had in my hands. Right, the leaf razor. Surprise, surprise. Now, I didn't have the best of shaves with this last time. Actually, sorry, I had a great shave. I had no issues, no pain or anything like that. But for some reason, I just had loads of weepers. I put it down to the blades. So as a result, I pulled these out. Super Platinums. I think Persona make them. I'm not sure where they're made, whether it's Israel or anything like that. I don't think anything on the blade. Things I like about it is there's single wrapped and there's no glue dots at all. It looks like a very clean sort of surgical grade steel. That's what it looks like. Let's just see how it shaves. I can't remember how these ones actually shaved, but this is the ones that come with the leaf razor if you order one. Against the grain, 3 days growth. And I think that feels pretty nice, and you can see that wonderful, glossy, thick, dense lather. You can hardly see an air bubble in it, it's so dense. Quick rinse in the warm water and you've got a crystal clear razor again. You can see it doesn't dissipate, it stays there. That scent is intoxicating, it really is a beautiful scent. The fact that it stayed in my den for so long. In fact, I don't even know who sent me this soap. I never do, I can never tell you who sends me anything. The only ones I can sort of remember is Jack, because that's relatively recent. But this one I've had in the den for, I would say, over a year now. I'm not sure who sent me it. Whoever did, thank you very much, because it smells fantastic and it lathers up an absolute treat. And the performance of it, so far, so good. Look at that. I mean, that is some dense stuff. There's a few little air bubbles here and there, but that's just a stunning lather. I haven't got to any comments as yet either, so don't fret if you've asked me a question and I haven't answered it yet. It's because I haven't read the question. Now, I would say that I should really have a little bit more time to get on and do these things over the coming weeks and months, but given that we are self-isolating and my kids are all now at home, I've got 3 kids to make sure that they do the schoolwork and the homework and assessments and all that, so there's a little bit more pressure at home now than there was before. The good thing is, I've got good kids. and we'll get through it. It is what it is. There's absolutely nothing we can do about it now. Just let this virus take its course and do what it has to do until we hopefully find a vaccine or a cure. And then, if we don't, who knows, let's just try and stay as fit and healthy and optimistic as we can, eh? That's all we can sometimes do. I've definitely got a bit of blood here, but I think I've actually cut open the ingrown hair that I had in the back of my head. I'm not even sure whether it's out, but it was still there, the red bump. There is one thing with this razor that lets it down a little bit. This soap's highlighting it more than recent soaps I've used. It's not got the best grip. You've got to sort of, for a head shave I have to hold it this way. And I sort of hold it with 2 fingers and balance like that most of it. Sometimes I hold it a little bit closer like so, but it just depends on the angle. But I do notice sometimes that it almost slips out of my hands and ends up in the sink. And there we have it. It really is a waste of lather, because I'll be rinsing this brush out now and I've got a BBS head shave from one lather. Very slick, superb scent. Really, I love this scent. If you can get your hands on it. I'm surprised it hasn't released that as a standalone item rather than just a... Yeah, still got a few little weepers there, 1, 2. Yeah, I've got a few actually. And now I can't make up my mind whether it's the blades. I can't see it being the soap. But then again, I can't remember if I reacted to this soap or not. And I'm wondering whether that's why I haven't used it quite as much. But I don't think I did. I don't think I reacted to this soap at all last time I used it. Let's just rinse this out. I've got a few little tiny weepers on the sides and on the back. Now I will say that was very smooth, that shave. I didn't really feel anything untoward or anything different. But the blades didn't feel quite as smooth as like the Gillette Super Thins or the filers that I used recently. Didn't feel quite as nice. It's still very smooth, nothing to worry. The main thing is, I know when I use some oil grooming, I have no issues afterwards anyway. It just works its charms and your skin's right as rain. So you can probably see on the back of my head there's quite a few dots of blood again. Very, very strange, because I've done 5 shaves in a row with this razor before and had the best part of nothing. So I'm just going to wet my head. Rinse all of that off and then finish with some oil grooming frosted Frankenline. Superb. Goes beautifully with gourmand scents. There's a little bit of a sting there, not massively, but there was enough to feel it. That smell, the lime and menthol just seem to go hand in hand. Absolutely beautiful. But yeah, no doubt I'll have a few little spots here and there of blood popping through again, but I'm not going to worry about it. I know that stuff will do what it needs to do, and we'll move on back onto the the blades again. I might even try different blades. I might start marking down what seems to be working and not working. It could be the soap. I'm not 100% sold that it is, but it could be that I'm reacting slightly to that and reacted further on top of my previous one, and that's what's causing the issues. But feeling my skin, it feels lovely and soft and smooth. It doesn't feel like I've got any sort of raised, irritated bumps that would cause me any issues. And it is very, very minor weepers that I'm getting. But the soap for today was Passion from SMG. I think it's made by John Romanoff. Beautiful label, really nice. It's like a satin sort of, it is waterproof, but sort of matte feeling. It's really nice. That is what the soap looks like. I mean, this is 3 years old, come the end of this year. Oh, what a scent though, superb. The brush was my Wolf Whiskers Green Apple, made by Peter Wolf with the fluting on there. I think it's a Becky top with an Odyssey bottom. Yes, Odyssey bottom, Becky top, 25mm Black Wolf Ultra Fan, and as you can see, that knot looks as it did before I started. The razor, I love this razor. I know I've got a few weepers, yes, the last shave and this shave, but for me and for my money, it's the best on the planet at the moment. And it's a case of finding the blades and finding the touch and the feel for it. It takes a little bit, but it's definitely worth the results. And I finished off today with Moyle Grooming Frosted Frankenlime. And I will just mention the blades that I used were Super Platinums, and I'm not completely sold that these weren't the issue. I don't know whether it's the blade, the pressure I'm using, or the soap, but there's certainly something going on with these last two shaves that's causing me to get a few weepers that I haven't had in the previous sort of 10-15 shaves using this razor. So I'm not blaming the razor at all, because I know it's not the razor. And other than that, stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.